Blitz on 2 starts now.
Indeed it does. Hey everybody, and welcome once again to the Blitz on 2. I'm Mark Morgan, and every Friday night at this time, as you know, we are always your one-stop shopping for all your high school football needs. Round 2 of the playoffs tonight.
Yeah, glad to have you in. I'm Dan Fanning. The state's oldest rivalry adds to its history tonight as Berkeley and Somerville meet in the second round of the playoffs. The blue and gold taking on the green and gold in Flowertown. And to McKissick Field we go. Wave won the regular season contest between the two. Scoreless first quarter. Stags first drive. Henry Rivers, read option. Watch him scoot down the Berkeley sideline. A huge gain, my God, a freshman. Finally tripped up inside the 10. Cutaway of my main man, Staggy. A few plays later, Henry to Kevin Boone, TD Stags. They lead 7-0. Rivers, though, would leave the contest next drive after a late hit. 7-0 when Jaden Cummings responds. Go route to Yannick Smith. He goes all the way in for the score. Pretty ball there. PAT good, or no good.
Pretty good shooting there.
I would say so. Second quarter. Same score when Trey Green cashes in, follows his blocks, and the bell cow scores from 30 yards out. That makes it 12-6. When the Wave go for 2, watch this. Yannick throws back to Cummings for the conversion. Nicely drawn up there by the Wave. That made it 14-7. We go to your final score. The number 1 team in 5A advanced to round 3, 34-14.
Elsewhere in 5A action, Stratford hosting Sumter. Now, this was a defensive struggle early on. Gamecocks with it. Handoff to John Peoples. He looks like he's stopped, but watch him kind of bounce outside here. 10-yard gain before he's knocked out of bounds. Then quarterback Pat Merchant fires to Jamie Tedder Jr. Tedder with a nice grab. Rolls for a first down. Sumter Gamecocks moving the sticks. Then out of the Wildcat, Peoples takes the snap. He scores to give the visitors the lead. PAT no good. 6-0 Sumter at that point. Now, Knights with it. Jakin Davis to Freddie Alston. Where's Freddie? There he is. Little pitch and catch. Nice gain of 8. Stratford moving the sticks. Eric McCrary's done it all year. Caps off the drive with this 1-yard TD run. We are tied at 6. I mentioned defensive struggle early on to the board. We go. Sumter pulls away, though, in that second half to end Stratford. Season your final 27-6. For Dorchester with a tall task this evening. The Patriots going on the road to face a Midlands team still unbeaten on the season.
Yeah, White Knoll in the midst of a historic season. The state runners-up from a season ago, Fort D, trying to play spoiler. Timberwolves with it right here as you see a fired-up crowd in the Midlands. The pass to Austin Cunningham. A nice grab by the end zone as LTX loves to give some.
Wow, long opening shot of the crowd. Now we got a coach. Now is the
doing
play.
Some calisthenics.
Yeah, he's fired up.
Now
we go back to the play we were talking about.
Austin Cunningham, as we finally get to it. Looks like Michigan helmets. Hopefully they didn't steal any Fort D signals this evening. Touchdown, White Knoll. Then, a bit later, home team in business from start to go. Charles Watson trying to do something, but he has spun around, dragged down by the White Knoll defensive end. A bit later, Jaden Kimball with a nice run for White Knoll. All Wolves this evening in this one. Fort D's season comes to an end at the hands of White Knoll. Wow, 57, your final.
We keep right on rolling. There's Donnie Kiefer, West Ashley traveling to Carolina Forest, and here we go. He's hoping his Wildcats can make something happen here. Panthers start quick. Second play of the game. Ethan Hamilton goes to his left, gets free up the sideline. No one's catching him. Look at him motor, man. Wow. 79 yards. Wow is right. Carolina Forest looks like they got some weapons this year. That's 7-zip. Wildcats do respond on their second drive. David Duanen, fourth down, gets it in from 2 yards out. That ties the match game at 7. We move to the second quarter. An 80-yard drive by the Panthers. It ends with Khalil Johnson scoring from 3 yards out. Carolina Forest regains the lead 14-7. Close one at this point. They'll get the ball back. Hamilton to the air. Quick slant to Finn Mayhood. He's matriculating down the field. 70 yards on that connection. The black and maroon are up 21-7. Did I mention that Carolina Forest has some weapons after a defensive stop? Johnson back to work on the offense. Breaks through, gets inside the 20. First down, home team. He would cap it off from a short distance. Carolina Forest up 28-7 at the half. They move on to the next round and will face Somerville next week. Carolina Forest over West Ashley, 28-21. Now the Blitz on 2 keeps right on rolling. James Island, still unbeaten. The Trojans, at home tonight.
A stern test from the Red Foxes of Hartsville, a school where my cousins attended and a team I covered in my previous stop.
Okay.
How about that?
I think I followed that.
Trojans looking to stay undefeated. First series, JI, are rolling. Braxton Scott fires to Showtime. Amontre Scott. Amontre is off, using his Jets, finally brought down by a host of Foxes, gain of 40. 4 plays later, handoff to Scott. He scores easily on the 11-yard score. PAT makes it 7-0. JI with it again. Handoff to Tank Scott, and he does the rest. 14-zip Trojans. Then Hartsville breaks a long one. The swing pass to Hakeem Waters, and Waters just races down the sideline, virtually untouched. 90 yards for the score, makes it 14-7. But J.I. would respond, knocking on the door. The handoff, ball pops loose. Whooshy Ravenel, right place, right time, scoops it up, whoop, makes a few mans miss. How about that? Agent Zero, touchdown, Trojans, and making it 21-7. We go to your final score. How about this? J.I., now 12-0 on the season, 45-21.
Elsewhere in Mount Pleasant, Lucy Beckham hosting Lancaster. Lucy Beckham hosting a team at District 2 Stadium, coming in the Bruins at 2-9. And surprisingly, the visitors strike first. The handoff to Mikhail McCullum. He goes outside and shows his speed. 30 yards for the score. That dude was the fastest player on the field tonight. Try for 2 was good. 8-0 Lancaster at that point. Bengals couldn't move it. They're back to punt now, and the Bruins, big rush, they block it. Another momentum swing. They take over to the Bruins deep in Lucy Beckham territory. That led to this. McCullum again with a short touchdown run. He's in. The 2-point try was good again. Bruins were quickly up 16-0. Is right. Lucy Beckham trying to get something going. Chalmers Ballard, friend of Dan's, fires to Charles Bird. Bird does his thing. 25 yards on the play. Bengals moving the sticks. That led to this 3-yard run by Steven Seegers. PAT no good. Bengals trail 16-6. Next possession. I love the flags. Lucy Beckham will drive down the field. Seegers does it again. He was the workhorse in that first half. I was faked out a little bit. 38 yards on the run. Seegers to the house. The PAT was good. That cut the Lancaster lead to 16-13. But Lucy Beckham's season comes to an end. 38-20. Huge road win for the Bruins. And we are just kicking things off here on the Blitz on 2. A real brief timeout.
Yeah, one more quick family tie. Before I was born, my family lived in Lancaster. So
before you were born?
Correct.
So you didn't technically live there?
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Joe and Vicky and Joseph did.
We'll discuss in the break.
We ventured down to 3A, where Hanahan and Philip Simmons both look to advance to round 3. How the Hawks and Horses fare, find out when we come back. And welcome back into the Blitz. Hanahan has been flying high lately as Milan Turner and company try to advance to the 3rd round tonight.
That's right, Dan. The Hawks hoping to ride their solid ground game led by Kayvon Rivera to a win over Gilbert. Let's check out the highlights. Hawks looking to advance, and they will score first after they storm onto the field. First play from scrimmage. Julius Hippensteel goes deep to a wide open Drew Goldsmith. Drew is wide open, and he is gone. 55 yards for the score. 7-zip home team. Gilbert, this team can put points on the board, bounces back. Trayvon Williamson with a short touchdown run. There's Trayvon. Where is he? There he goes. He gets into the end zone. We are tied after the PAT at 7. Hawks then with it. On the move, Kayvon Rivera. Nice run. Watch him bounce outside. He is a hard dude to bring down. Finally knocked out of bounds after a gain of 20. The big guy then takes it in a few plays later. 14-7 Hanahan, as I mentioned. These teams can score. This one turned into a shootout. Hanahan's season, though, is over. Gilbert goes on the road to win it 49-35.
And we go back to the Midlands as Philip Simmons travels up to Brooklyn, KC this evening. Deshaun Washington picks up the first down on the 15-yard gain for the home-standing Bearcats of BC. Then, a few plays later, Washington caps off the drive with a 1-yard plunge. That put Brooklyn KC up 21-10. The Bearcat defense had only given up a combined 41 points over their previous 2 games, according to the station in Columbia. They continue that strong play against the Iron Horses this evening. Sherrod Williams tries, I guess he did pick up a big gain. 5 Alive rumbles down for the first down, but then the rushing attack spearheaded by William Young and Deshaun Washington propelled BC this evening. As we go to your final score, like hand-to-hand, Philip Simmons' season has come to an end, 34-14.
Now, last season, Oceanside finished as the state runner-up in Class 2A. The Landsharks continuing their quest to return to the state final this evening. Yeah,
OCA knocked out their opponent this evening, Woodland. In the process, how will tonight's rematch shake out? This one out of hand, second half, 34-0 Landsharks. The toss to Will Virgilio. We talked to him earlier this week. Maybe that propels him right here. Virgilio takes the swing pass and for the score. That made it 42-0 Oceanside. The Landsharks just too much tonight. Swarming defense right here, tackled by a host of Oceanside defenders. Then another touchdown. This time, great catch by Gavin Gaspar. Goes up and gets it. What a job there by Gavin. Looked like Mark back in his intramural days at Kentucky.
That is correct.
Anyway, Oceanside, no trouble this evening as they roll into round 3, 49-0.
A huge Skeeza matchup tonight in Somerville. Pinewood Prep hosting Hilton Head Christian, and here we go. Panthers knocking on the door, trailing 21-10. Asa Wyndham waits for Troy Dandridge to leak out. 4 finds 11 for 6. Pinewood goes into the half, down 21-16. Third quarter, Devontae Holloman hoping his team can make this thing happen. Third quarter, Eagles mount a drive. Dylan Clark hits Gage Zadalokin to move the chains on a 3rd and 5. That was a big play. Then Clark and HHC on the 2. He calls his own number, rumbles in to make it 28-16 visitors. On the other end, watch the run by Wyndham. Asa around the right side, and he has reservations for 6 coming right into your living room. The try for 2 is good. It's 28-24 Hilton Head Christian. We go to the board, a shootout. Hilton Head Christian ends Pinewood Prep season 42-30. All right, another brief timeout here on the Blitz.
Yeah, we have some more scores on the other side, plus a look at our play of the night. Stay with us.
And welcome back to the Blitz on 2, everybody. Alongside Dan Fanning, I'm Mark Morgan. We're going to go through some scores now around the Lowcountry. Again, this was round 2 of the high school playoffs. As you see, Crestwood beat Buford by a score of 44-0. Andrew Jackson over Kingstree 51-20 on Friday night. Other scores of note: the Cross Trojans have again advanced to the lower state final. Just like last season, Sean Wright's team, a great job. 28-12 over Allendale Fairfax. Cross will host the lower state final against Bamberg Earhart next Friday night. Also, Hampton County ends Andrews' season. Your score there, 48-14. The other scores of note as we hit some Skeeza scores. Porter Goud's season comes to an end. Man, the Cyclones had a good year, but it comes to an end against Lawrence Manning. 48-40 the final there, and Patrick Henry beat Dorchester Academy by a score of 17-13.
And one more score to show you. Williamsburg Academy will play for the Skeeza State title next Saturday at Charleston Southern as they beat Buford Academy 41-6. Your final score. And once again, we're in the giving mood tonight, so how about 3 plays for our plays of the week. Henry Rivers. He had a great freshman season right here. The quarterback keeper picks him up, puts him down, a huge gain. Rivers, though, would lead the contest, but he had a great freshman season. Then watch this. Julius Hippensteel hits Drew Goldsmith on the go route, and he is gone. First play from scrimmage, Hanahan would strike up the band. Then watch this. Gavin Gaspar, one of the best catches of the season, goes up and gets it. How about that, Gavin? Oceanside, have yourself a night as the Landsharks advance to round 3.
Okay, as we mentioned a second ago in the breakdown, I think we have 4 of our local teams that are still alive, right? Somerville, Oceanside, Cross, and
J.I.
and James Island.
Apparently you do not know.
Yeah, I like that. Both Somerville and James Island, both still unbeaten. Cross has won a zillion games in a row. They lost their season opener and haven't lost since. Also, college basketball tonight, quickly. The Citadel lost to Earl Grant and the Boston College 75-71. Elijah Morgan, 17 points. He had 4 threes for the Citadel in that loss. And the CFC on the court as well tonight.
Yeah, CFC got beat by Duquesne. The Cougars come back to the Palmetto State, where they'll be in Myrtle Beach next Thursday through Sunday. But kind of looking ahead to tomorrow, college football. South Carolina at home, Clemson at home, Citadel at home, still looking for their first win. Charleston Southern on the road. So stick with me tomorrow night at 11. I'll have you covered with plenty of college football.
That's right, Dan. You make sure and stick with Dan tomorrow. And again, stay with us all next week for our Blitz on 2 coverage, plus college basketball, college football, everything else. Thanks so much for joining us here on another edition of the Blitz on 2. That is a wrap for week 2 of the playoffs. Hannah Shine, our producer, thank you. Gerard Capers, director, thank you.
Yeah, big win tonight for Gerard's Green Wave. I don't think Hannah went to school here in the Palmetto State. So, Hannah, let us know where you went to school. We may mention it in the morning. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.